Welcome to another video where we are ranking every Avril Lavigne song going album by album. If you watched my previous video, we just did Let Go, and today we're gonna be doing Under My Skin. So we have this beautiful tier list that I made using different Avril Lavigne song lyrics. We have at the top It's So Beautiful for the top songs. Then we have That's Why I Smile for some of the best songs that just don't quite make it into the top tier. Then we have I Love It When You Hate Me, which I don't think it's the best middle term, but I thought it sounded good for a middle ground. And those are songs that you like, but maybe there's certain things about them that you don't like, or maybe they're just not up there at the top. Then we have She's Like So Whatever for songs that are kind of meh, but you still, And finally, we have I Won't Listen to You for songs that maybe you would skip or you just won't really go to. So without any further ado, let's get started ranking these songs, starting with the first song on the album, Take Me Away. This song was written by her and her lead guitarist, Evan Taubenfeld? I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm sorry. He was in her band, I think, until around 2005. You will recognize him from music videos, and also if you watched her DVD, he's also performing there, obviously. And they've written a lot of songs together, and I think he even made an appearance in a later music video, Here's to Never Growing Up. He's in the prom scene. He's also does a vocal for Push on the Goodbye Lullaby album, and they released a song together in 2011 called The Best Years of Our Life. Anyway, my point is that this guy is really good friends with Avril, and they've done a lot of work together, so I think we'll be referencing him a couple of times throughout this album because he's worked on it. But let's talk about Take Me Away. So this is the lead track of the album. I think it was a very powerful track to start with. It was actually released as a single, apparently in some places, at the same time as Don't Tell Me. Obviously, it didn't have a video, and it was actually included as a B-side track for most of the Don't Tell Me single releases. So apparently the song received mixed reviews. Some people complimented the composition and style, while others criticized the songwriting. In general, the entire album was compared a lot to the Evanescence style. This song was classified as a post-grunge nu metal type of genre. I like the song. It's probably not like the best work ever made by Avril, but I really like it, so I think that's going straight to That's Why I Smile, because this is a song that I like coming back to, and I also just like screaming it at the top of my lungs, so it's a good song all around. Then we move on to Together, which is also a really beautiful track that has this like piano, but it's also like darker and like a little bit grungy. It has this theme of being better off alone, which is a theme that's repeated actually throughout the album. So if anything, this sets the mood for the album even maybe a little bit stronger than Take Me Away does, because Take Me Away has very different lyrical themes. But yeah, that's gonna go on That's Why I Smile. And something that I didn't mention is that the other challenge that we're doing in these videos is to rank everything also from best to worst in the album. So for me personally, I think I like Together more than Take Me Away. Probably I like them on the same level, but if I had to choose, I think I'm gonna put Together ahead of it. Now, Take Me Away, as I said, was the lead single for the album, so that means that that was the first track that she released to expose her album to the world. This was, again, written with her good friend Evan Taubenfeld. The song, again, has this, like, darker sound, especially compared to, like, her previous work on Let Go, and it's all about just not letting a guy push you around or pressure you into doing something. This one definitely goes on the top tier. It's so beautiful. I love this song, and I still get so nostalgic when I see the music video, because I remember so vividly watching the video on MTV and seeing her like punch the glass and thinking like, that's cool. I don't know why I would think that that was cool, but and not to mention that there was absolutely no way I could relate to these lyrics because I was like quite young at the time. And I think it also has a relatively good bridge considering, so I noticed now that I've been analyzing her songs a little deeper, that her bridges are, she keeps them quite short, and like in some of them it works really well, and on others it maybe feels a bit lazy, but I feel like that's just also her style of writing. In this particular song, I feel like the bridge comes out quite strong. So now we move on to He Wasn't. Apparently this song wasn't a single in the US, which doesn't really make sense to me, because they released Fall to Pieces instead of He Wasn't, but Fall to Pieces doesn't even have a video. You'd think they would make a video for the song that's being released in the US as a single. Anyway, we will talk about Fall to Pieces later in this video. Let's concentrate on He Wasn't. So apparently AllMusic named this as one of the most significant post-grunge songs of all time. I don't really know what post-grunge means. The song is super fun. I think the guitar part is quite iconic. Music video is quite fun, and it also, like, it's a little bit reminiscent in a very, like, toned down way of American Idiot by Green Day with the, like, slime, and I think there was just something with the 2000s and people loving slime. But yeah, I would say that this is a banger. I think this would go at the top of the list. Starting off really strong, but now we are moving on to how does it feel. I have mixed feelings for this song. Like, I like it, but not that much. Like, to me, lyrically, I feel like it's trying a bit too hard to be a deep song. I'm also not a really big fan of the song's structure, so it has this like build up and then it slows down and then it builds up again. This type of structure works out really well in some songs, but I don't think this is one of them. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna put it on She's Like So Whatever, which sounds rude, but I just want to say, obviously I wrote this tier list just using her song lyrics, and I don't literally mean that I think that the song is whatever. I actually do like the song, but I just don't think, I think if we're ranking them, it's not the most powerful one. It's certainly not the best one on the album. And now we get to My Happy Ending, which I think this was a song that probably introduced a lot of people to Avril Lavigne because it was just a massive single. The music video was directed by a Grammy Award winner, Merit Avis. I'm so sorry because I definitely butchered this person's name. He's also directed videos for U2's, Bruce Springsteen, Bob Dylan, and more. Notably, he did the video for Accidentally in Love by Counting Crows, which that's the soundtrack for Shrek 2. Anyway, let's go back to talking about My Happy Ending. A lot of people were apparently comparing this song to Michelle Branch's Everywhere, which is such a good song, but musically and lyrically, I don't really hear how they're similar at all. But yeah, I think this song is maybe possibly the best song in the album, I have to say. The bridge is one of the stronger ones again for Avril's work, and I think lyrically and melodically the song is very beautiful, and I could really feel the pain even though I hadn't related to anything like that back then, and now when I listen to it I can still really feel that emotion powering through the song, which is something that we will talk about later in other albums, but I feel like it was lost in some of her songs where you don't really, like, the lyrics are emotional but you don't feel it as much. Does that make sense? Okay, so now we get to Nobody's Home, which was another single, but I think it was a weak single. I think Slipped Away or Fall to Pieces would have made a better single. In this case, we know that Fall to Pieces was a single in the US apparently, but I don't think it was given the attention it deserved because it didn't get a video. But regardless, let's focus on Nobody's Home. But that's just like my 2 cents on that. I don't think that should have been the single. And I also think it was a really bad choice that they replaced He Wasn't with Fall to Pieces. They should have just, if they wanted to do that exchange, they should have done it with Nobody's Home, if you ask me. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike the song, but it's just not my favorite. And I do like that lyrically it has a different type of story behind it. It's not the typical relationship song, and it is one that I love to sing and whatnot, but I think when I'm comparing it to other songs on the album, I probably love it when I hate it because I really like it, but it's also just not my favorites. And now we arrive at Forgotten, which I think the piano for this was so hauntingly beautiful. As a kid, I was always like practicing playing it for myself, and I just love it. I like the aggressiveness of the song, but lyrically, I don't think it's the best work. But I like the song, so that's that. I will come back to it. I definitely wouldn't skip it, but I probably don't play it as often as some of the other tracks on That's Why I Smile, and only because of that, I'm gonna put it in the middle tier, I think. Thinking if it's better than Nobody's Home, I think for me, it probably is. So now we arrive at Who Knows, which is actually one of my probably top tracks that I was listening to back in the day. It's not one that I've come back to as much now, but I'm really curious what you guys think about the lyrics, because when I was young, I interpreted the lyrics to be about being positive and like living your life. But now when I listen to it, I don't feel like that's what it's about. So she sings, "Do what you do, just keep on laughing. One thing's true, there's always a brand new day. I'm gonna live today like it's my last day." So up until the point where she says, "I'm gonna live today like it's my last day," she's saying that there's always something good to look forward to. And in and of itself, saying I'm gonna live today like it's my last day is supposed to be a positive thing as well. Like you're gonna go out there and like seize the day and just do everything. But when you put those two together, she's saying you should keep laughing because there's always a brand new day. But now today I'm gonna live like there is no new day. So then does that mean that I'm gonna be depressed? I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? How do you interpret the song? Did you guys notice that before as well, or is it just me? But anyway, I'm I'm rambling on. But this song, I think I'm gonna put it in That's Why I Smile. But it would probably be like borderline I love it when I hate it. Okay, so let's move on to Fall to Pieces. So I've mentioned this song a couple of times, so obviously I've kind of given away that I really, really like this song. This was co-written by Rain Medina. I think today is like the day that I just butcher everybody's name that comes across. This is the lead vocalist of Our Lady of Peace. He also co-wrote songs for Kelly Clarkson, The Veronicas, and Hilary Duff. I'm just putting this out there because I think it's good to give songwriters some recognition. But yes, Fall to Pieces. Obviously it goes somewhere at the top. I would maybe put it here. No, sorry, here. Think it's a good in between. Now we get to Freak Out. I really like this song. It's very upbeat. I like the guitar. It also has this like pop punk personality type to it. And I kind of rate this one similarly to Forgotten, I would say, but I think it would go on That's Why I Smile. So I'm just trying to figure out if I prefer Who Knows over Freak Out. It's difficult because obviously Who Knows is a very like mellow song, and then Freak Out is like, I don't know, has more attitude to it, and that would make me come back to it more. So I think just because of that, I would put it ahead. Now we arrive at Slipped Away. This song is so powerful. I can't believe that this didn't get more attention, honestly. I think it's one of the best songs on the album altogether. I think it would have been amazing as a single. Like, this song can literally almost make me cry, and I don't really have a lot of songs that would like almost make me cry. I don't think I really cry from music so much. But this song, listening to it sometimes, or like singing the bridge, it's so powerful. I'm really not exactly sure where I want to put it, but it is one of the strongest songs on the album, if you ask me. So I think I'm like arguing with myself where the song goes on the rank. So I'm having a minor existential crisis.
I made my decision. I want to start crying.
One thing that I think really helped this song is that Avril really focused on the storytelling in this song, and it is actually personal to her, which is something that in the next album we're going to talk about, she kind of really avoided going into her own personal emotions, and it showed in some of the songs. But here it has really strong storytelling, and it is so personal to her, and I think the fact that that's reflected on the song really comes through and makes it an amazing song. So in the intro, I completely forgot to talk about B-sides and these like bonus tracks. What I'm doing with my series is that I'm only including ones that Wikipedia tells me that were there, because I never know where B tracks came from. Like, I know some of them, like, for example, Take Me Away, a song on this album. There's another song by Avril that was a B-side called Take Me Away. I have no idea where that came from. Like, I don't even know if it's a B-side. Was it just like something old that she worked on? Like, I don't know. And we get to I Always Get What I Want, which was actually the B-side for Nobody's Home. And it was also featured on the song The Princess Diaries 2. This song, I think musically is quite similar to He Wasn't. It's really like upbeat, fun. The guitar almost sounds like similar in a way. Lyrically, it's focused on just getting what you want, as the title implies. I think this is a really good song considering that it was a B-side, and it's such a fun one, and I think I'm gonna put it probably here. That's Why I Smile, but I definitely listen to this way more than I would listen to like Freak Out. And now we get to Take It, which was the B-side for My Happy Ending. This song is just about like telling paparazzi to piss off. Honestly, I feel like this is a skippable song. It has this like aggro Avril Lavigne sound to it. But there's unfortunately nothing really special about it that makes it stand out, and so I'm just gonna put it at the bottom tier. So that's our first song so far, like since our Let Go overview, that makes it to the bottom tier, but this is actually a B-side, so So far, so good. So that is our final tier. I would love to hear how you guys would rank these songs, if you agree or disagree with me. But what I'm most curious about is how you interpret the lyrics of Who Knows. Thank you so much for checking out my video. If you want to see how I rank the rest of the albums, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.